Well, guys, it did it to us again. Gave us the hard luck 50s. Hopefully, we can have another big winning session like we did the last time they gave us hard luck 50s. So let's get after it in vlog number 15, I think it is. Time to have a big winning cash game session. We need it because we got big action, big tournament action coming up. See that right there? That right there that says it's 39 degrees, that is a lie. What's up, guys? We're out here in the dark on our way to play a cash game here in Springfield, Missouri. Need a winning session pretty bad, as you can tell from the fact that we are out in the rain and the cold. Thermometer on the car says it's 38 degrees. That seems like a lie. Fingers are freezing. Anyway, get excited. About to get a new phone because people have been making fun of the quality, and because we're about to be playing in the Run Good Bounty event here in about a week in Oklahoma at Downstream. So here in vlog number 15, we are actually playing a different game. We got to the game that we were going to play in, was supposed to be 1-3 no limit hold'em, got there a little bit late, and all the seats were taken. So, couldn't play in that game, waited about 45 minutes or so, and still couldn't get a seat. So we were very up in the air whether we were going to leave or go ahead and play. And it turned out that a couple of the other people that were waiting wanted to play Pot Limit Omaha and were very down to play it shorthanded. So I haven't played as much Pot Limit Omaha as I've played No Limit Hold'em, but I've played quite a bit. I've played it online, I've studied it a decent amount, and I've watched a decent amount of material on it. So I thought that I could play this game and have a pretty decent edge. So I decided to go ahead and play, and off we go. So there are a couple differences between Pot Limit Omaha and No Limit Hold'em. The main difference is you get 4 cards instead of 2 cards. So when you get 4 cards in Pot Limit Omaha, you can only use 2 cards, and you have to use 2 cards. So let's say, for instance, you have 2 aces and then miscellaneous other cards in Pot Limit Omaha. You have a decent hand, but not a great hand, because there's going to be so many different combinations out there. Really what you're trying to do is make a hand that's close to the nuts and or blocks the nuts being the best overall possible hand. Anyway, here we go, headed into some hands of Pot Limit Omaha. I'm not an expert on this game, but I feel like I can talk a little bit of strategy, and I can at least give you guys an idea of how the hands went. The game didn't last all that long. I only have 4 hands to share with you, but they're pretty interesting hands, and there's a lot of action. Okay, so hand number 1, we look down at King 10, 7-5, double suited. So not an amazing hand, but not a terrible hand. We're playing Pot Limit Omaha with a $5 small blind, but that's the only blind, so a $5 blind. It's $10 to go pre-flop. I make the call from the button, and we're playing only 4-handed. So everybody calls, lots of action, we are off to see a flop. The flop comes down a pretty decent one for us, 6-3-10. So we flop top pair and a lot of interesting backdoors. Also a backdoor flush draw. The action checks through on the flop, so we're not too sad about that. The turn is a 2 of hearts, so now we have the second nut flush draw, and we still have the straight draw that we had before, which is a straight draw to the nuts, so that's really good. And for anybody not super familiar with poker terminology, the nuts is the best possible hand that anybody can have. So if I say the nuts, that's what it means. It means if you have the nuts, you have the best possible hand, nobody can beat you. So the turn is the 2 of hearts, definitely a good card for us. Pick up the second nut flush draw, so it's the second best flush that could possibly happen. The pre-flop brazier makes it $25. He's an action player, so we're very down to continue in this hand. And I made the call. I'm the only one that makes the call. The river, sure enough, brings our flush through, so it's the Jack of Hearts We have a very strong flush draw here. Not the nut flush draw, but not the nut flush, but a very strong flush. So we have a made flush. The pre-flop raiser checks to me and seems very disgruntled that it was a heart. That's not going to slow me down, even though I don't think I'm going to get a ton of value. So I'm not going to bet the full amount of the pot. I go ahead and bet $45. He calls. I turn over my flush, and he throws his cards away. So we take that one down. Pretty nice size hand to get things started. So hand number 2, we look down at a premium holding. We've got ace, 5-4 with 1 suit. So we've got the nut diamond draw. So I go ahead and raise it up pre-flop to 25. It was a straddle pot. First to act, and I was first to act, so I was up with the gun. And we're still playing four-handed. As usual, we get 3 callers, so we're going 4 ways to the flop. The flop is what seems like a fairly decent one for us. The flop is Jack 8-3. I go ahead and bet $25, which I guess I was kind of trying to go for a blocker bet here. Could have maybe just checked if I'm going to bet such a small amount. I don't think the hand play. Actually, the hand would have played differently because I could fold it. Anyway, I bet 25. The button, who is short stacked, goes ahead and goes all in for 125. I don't think I have a whole lot of choice here, or at least that's what I thought at the time, and have to call with my top pair, with my aces and my backdoor straight draw and backdoor flush draw. Maybe that's a bad call though, because I guess he's not doing that here with anything worse than a set, which it turns out he has 2 miscellaneous cards that I do not remember and 2 threes. So no miracles on the turn of the river, and we lose a pretty decent pot after winning a pretty decent pot to start things off. And this is a good illustration of how pocket aces really isn't all that great necessarily in pot limit Omaha. So in hand number 3, we look down at those pesky pocket aces again in pot limit Omaha. We've got ace, jack 5 with the ace, jack of spades. So a very good starting hand. So I go ahead and pot it from under the gun. And this was not a straddle pot. We end up going 4 ways to the flop again. Flop comes down king, queen, 8 with 1 spade. If it had been 2 spades, it's been a great flop for us. But with only 1 spade, we go ahead and check. The action checks through, so we're happy the action checks through. Turn is the 5 of hearts, so messes up a whole bunch of stuff for us. No more backdoor flush draw. Yeah, not a card that we're loving. The small blind pots it. I actually go the slightly conservative route, or maybe standard route, I'm not 100% sure, and fold. This hand ends up going to showdown. That doesn't involve me, obviously. And the winning hand was queen, 9-5. So somebody flopped middle set. So good thing we got away from it. Okay, so hand number 4 was a pivotal one. We look down at queen, 5-5 from the cutoff. I've got around 300, 350 to start the hand. There's $40. It's $40 to go pre-flop. I'm not 100% sure how that happened, but anyway, we're playing 5-handed now. There were straddles involved. So it was $40 to go pre-flop. I make the call. There's $160 in the pot. Headed to the flop, which is a pretty good one for us. The flop is 9-5-10 with 2 diamonds. So I do flop a set, but it's bottom set, and there's a flush draw and a lot of straight draws out there. The action checks to me, and I bet 35. I don't really love my sizing here, but I'm not really sure. I think I'm supposed to bet small with this holding to kind of find out where I'm at, but anyway, not 100% sure. Anyway, all 3 players call. So we've got a big pot brewing. The turn is a 7, so a pretty bad card, but at least it's not a diamond. We know that all the straights pretty much complete from that. Well, not all the straights. A lot of the straights will complete with that card. The first to act bets $60, and I'm thinking, well, this sucks. I had to go ahead and fold my set. But then the action player makes the call. So getting these kind of pot odds, I think I can definitely make the call. So I go ahead and put in my 160, and we're off to see a river. The river is another 7, so we have a full house now, and the only way we're losing is if somebody flopped a bigger set than us and then didn't bet it, or had some straight combo that had a pair and a 7 in it also. So we're feeling pretty good, but not good enough that we are just like trying to get it in. Anyway, action ends up checking through somehow. I guess I could have gone for value, but I don't think my hand's strong enough to go for value. I take this one down. Huge pot, big win, $745 pot. The action player is very disappointed that I take this one down, and seemed to be like questioning how I could call there. Nobody else was questioning how I could call there on the turn. Obviously, I'm drawing to a full house, and given those pot odds, I just had to make the call. Anyway, we take that one down, and yeah, we got a nice stack now. We're pretty excited, and we were hoping this game was going to keep going. Well, guys, we are standing out here in the snow, about to put air in the tire of our car that we needed to put air in for like 3 or 4 days. Had a pretty good session, played Pot Limit Omaha, the great game of Pot Limit Omaha, it turns out. Hope the audio is good on this because we're right by a road, obviously, out in front of a gas station. Anyway, had a good session, took it down. Thanks for watching vlog number 15. Feeling pretty good. Big things are coming up, guys, big things. So I will see you in vlog number 16 coming soon.